Can I ask you a really quick question? Do you know the difference between social media marketing and digital marketing? Hey guys, welcome back to this week's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is August 2021 and school is in session. Well, it will be for me. I teach at San Jose State and have been there about 10 years teaching an undergrad course on strategic social media. Now, the question I get asked every semester, not just by students, but by other industry pros is social media marketing the same as digital marketing? And the answer is yes. And also the answer is no. Really depends upon who you ask. Now, I come from the brand side. Early in my career, I worked for some pretty large companies like Intel and HP. And over the last decade, I've been at the agency side. And it's funny because if you ask someone who's kind of a veteran in-house and a veteran agency person, the answer is very different. And so let me give you kind of two perspectives on what digital marketing is versus social media and how they overlap. Now, digital marketing, for the most part, if you think about a brand and what they do online, it's everything from website development, so the back-end database part of it. It's the front-end UI design. It's the look, the feel, the words, the creative. It's the landing pages. It's converting, traffic to download white papers or convert sales. It's kind of that thinking. If you think about from an advertising standpoint, it's all the display advertising in the market. So whether it's through the Google Display Network or other networks, it's all of that media that you're buying online to drive traffic to a landing page or the website. It's all your paid search and your native advertising. All of those things encompass what I would call digital marketing. Now, social media marketing kind of falls into it, but sometimes it doesn't, right? It depends upon kind of where it reports into in the organization. Now, early in my career working at Intel, social media was a center of excellence. It would dotted line into marketing, it would dotted line into PR, but it was its own entity. It had its own budget, had its own leadership, and it's certainly adapted, and it's very different depending upon the size and the sophistication of most companies. Now, social media marketing, again, let's kind of isolate that for 1 second. If you think about large brands who are investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in paid media, where they're buying, media on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, and the budgets are very large, I would consider that digital marketing, right? Now, hopefully on the back end, there's integration, right? The marketing team is talking to the social media team, talking to the PR team, and there's some consistency in storytelling. But social media marketing is really about that conversation and the storytelling, right? It's a little less intrusive. It's a little less in-your-face marketing, but it is marketing, right? There's large investments of paid media and storytelling and creative that are invested into the different networks to drive traffic or conversions or build community within those networks. Now, for smaller companies and startups, typically it's marketing and PR, and that falls under one person who may have an agency support or have a few people on the team, and they just kind of are in charge of everything, right? They're probably interested in driving leads or sales, and they own Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, the website, display advertising, pretty much everything else. So the reason why it's important to understand the distinctions between social media marketing and digital marketing is they require two different types of skill sets. And in the upcoming videos, I'm going to talk about the skill sets needed to be successful in digital marketing as well as successful in PR and social media. And for those of you who think that PR is kind of an extension of social media, I would say, let's be careful about that, because the last thing that you want to do from a PR standpoint is use social media to broadcast news, right? People don't care about that. They care about value. So if you can somehow spin, and PR people are great at that, but spin an announcement or a piece of content that is going to drive value or utility for an audience, then yes, use social media to distribute that content. But typically, and in my opinion, coming from the brand side, working at an agency, for the most part, working in social media the last decade, digital marketing before that, it's good to really understand that social media is meant to drive value, but in a way that customers and audiences can relate to, right? It's not the in-your-face marketing. It's the utility, the helpful, the news, and the value that you bring to that network. So be sure to tune in over the next couple of videos where I talk about the skills needed, whether you're a student or someone who's wanting to kind of transition into a different piece of your company or a different job function, I'm going to talk about specifically what you need to do in order to sharpen your tool set and become a better marketer, a better communicator, someone who's driven by data. So thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate your time. I know it was a quick video. And again, this was for the students and those who are, new to their careers, wanting to explore the digital marketing landscape. So thank you so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.